Hey all, Hipper here. So we are back in my favorite tier 7 cruiser, and it is the Edinburgh, of course. I love this cruiser, it's great, it's fantastic, and it's pretty much the only tier 7 cruiser that's worth playing at the moment. So in this battle here, I want to focus on situations where battleships fail, because that happens quite a bit. And first, let's just look at my setup on the ship here, because I'm obviously running an Agile Edinburgh, and an Agile Edinburgh is amazing, I tell you. This is so much fun, this ship. And like I said, it's the only cruiser worth playing at tier 7, at least at the moment. So I'm running Tenant. I have the Santa guys on here, but it is Tenant. And it's a stock Agile build here, all speed, rudder, ingenious, and extra consumables. Better turret rotation, and of course we have rudder in this slot here, and we have rudder again, and then we have the improved reload here. So on top of that, we have 3 amazing heals, 3 sonars, and 3 radars. So it comes with all the equipment you need as a cruiser player. Great guns, great maneuverability, actually excellent maneuverability, and okay concealment, okay torpedoes, and of course the 30mm armor here, especially the 30mm bow and stern, which allows you to pull off some very, very interesting stuff in this ship that you simply cannot do in other tier 7 cruisers, especially with the proliferation of tier 7 cruisers in legendary battles. Alright, so I start in the middle, and of course I take a look at the map, and I see, okay, C, they already have a destroyer. There's not much reason to go over there. B, on the other hand, 2 battleships and an Atago, and none of those ships are really suited for capping. So as an Agile cruiser, I'll take on that job. And we're only facing 1 enemy destroyer, and that's another factor to consider, because usually destroyers, they go for the B cap, and in this case I was right, he's actually going for the B cap, which is perfect. So I am going to take on the cruiser role here, / destroyer role, because I'm going to cap as well. And I have backup behind me 2 battleships, and at this point here I am just assuming that they will, take up sensible positions, which means that they will be able to cover me while I do my job. And my job is to get rid of this Akatsuki here. And once I've gotten rid of this Akatsuki here, which is my job as a destroyer, then it is the battleship's job to push in and make sure that I am not flanked, because that would be the end of me. And I cannot allow this destroyer to escape. I am fully committed now, so that's why I keep going. And as you can tell, my radar has run out, so I need to get within sonar range. And again, I'm using that 30mm bow and the agility of the ship here to neutralize as much enemy incoming fire as I can. And as you can tell, this is where the battleships start to fail. You can see how both of them are hiding behind islands behind me, leaving me and this Atago here to pretty much work this cap all by ourselves, tanking the whole red team on this flank here, and at the same time taking out destroyers and capping and dealing with the CV as well. And if you saw on my right flank, I noticed the battleship moving in, and there he is. This is not supposed to happen. The battleships are supposed to keep other battleships like this in check, so it's impossible for them to move up like this. So I get 3 torp hits on this guy here, but obviously next time he reloads, I'm finished. And I'm taking heavy fire from the CV as well. But if you see in a second here, the Atago helps me out, and he actually kills the battleship, but I get the kill for some reason. I don't know why. So that was 1 battleship down, and I've already taken care of the destroyer, and still our battleships are not making a move at all. They're sitting behind each their island. One of them is actually broadside on, and I'm just waiting to cap so I can actually get out of here. But if you look at the Atago on the right flank, he's taken up a very nice position so he can cover me and catch battleships in a crossfire. And I think that was the first battleship salvo we've seen there at the Brandenburg, which missed. So I'm not too impressed with the the battleship performance here. And I keep saying that in this game here. I know how much people hate like bad destroyers and how they don't spot and how they go down the back to torp battleships. And yeah, that's like mildly annoying, but the worst thing in this game here, and it's a lot worse because there's a lot more of them, is bad battleship players. It really is a problem. Because playing a battleship is really, really easy. If you just go bow in for the first 5 minutes and, you know, take up a position where you can do damage and at the same time limit the amount of damage you're taking as a return, and if you can, cover your cruisers here who are doing everything they can to cap and have already removed the one threat to battleships, which is the one destroyer on the map. That would be nice. And again, the Atago saves my bacon here, because I was waiting to torp this Brandenburg here, and the Atago rushes in and torps him for me. And that coincides with the battleships actually making a move now. So this is what they should have done from the beginning, perhaps not this far into the cap, but they should have taken up positions where they were able to cover the two cruisers in here while we were doing our thing. Now there's only like a half, well, like a Baltimore with, I don't know, like 2% health left, and that's it. And now the battleships decide to join. I'm sorry, that's just unacceptable. Like battleships, one of their jobs is to tank damage, and if you leave all the tanking up to your cruisers, well, then like chances are they are going to get sunk. And you don't want that as a battleship. You want your cruisers around so they can protect you from destroyers. Exactly what I was doing here. Like right from the battle started, I thought, where's the biggest chance of the destroyer being, and where can I be of the most help? And I did my part. I did like my calculations correctly, and I removed the destroyer right off the bat. The battleships on this flank here, and this is nothing against the players, I'm just talking in general here, that like if you don't cover your cruisers in situations like this when you play a battleship, you should seriously consider playing something else then. Because there was an Italian battleship making it all the way up into the middle of the cap next to me, pretty much like 500 meters from me, and that's just not supposed to happen. But anyway, the Atago came to my rescue, and the two cruisers pretty much single-handedly fought off everyone on this cap over here. So now we're going to move to the C cap, because usually going for the A cap on this map here is a disaster, really. You are spreading your forces too thin, and usually if the Reds decide to go for B once they've captured C, that usually means that you will lose B then, because all the ships are caught in open water between B and A. So in general, of course there are exceptions, but in general, once you capture either C or B, then go for the one across the map. So if you capture C, then go for B. If you capture B, then go for C. If you then capture all of them, then sure you can go for A, but don't go like all the way down to the end, because you're simply too far away to defend, especially your home base. So, but anyway, that's just my opinion here. And every other Edinburgh video I see online is always an Edinburgh moving into a position, smoking up, and then shooting, you know, AP shells from smoke. Always. Perhaps at the end of the battle, it will use one radar, perhaps, but that's it. First of all, very boring battles, and second of all, because they don't have an agile build on their Edinburghs, they are missing out completely on a whole new aspect of the ship here, because this ship here with the Sure Lane Baltimore as an inspiration, it's the best agile cruiser in the game, at least at tier 7. I mean, that says a lot, and it's something worth trying out, people. It really is. It has all the tools. It has great armor. It has fantastic guns, very fast reload. It can melt those DDs, which is its main purpose and the reason for the agile build in the first place. And you get 3 amazing heals. You can really take a beating, as well as, you know, bouncing lots of shells with your 30mm armor. And you get 3 radars. And if that's not enough, you also get 3 torpedoes on each side. They're not enough to take out, you know, a full health battleship, but they are enough to scare people, and obviously use in situations like I did before. Also, the agility is amazing. This ship has 1.9 second rudder. It can only go 38 knots, but that's okay. And the turning radius is really, really small. So it is like a joy to play. And you also get the famous British quick acceleration. So you cannot even choose the acceleration module, because the ship already has it. And that's why Edinburgh is the best and most agile cruiser available. Because, yeah, lots of other cruisers turn just as fast and they go just as fast and have the same turning radius, but they have to give up the acceleration boost, and you get that for free with Edinburgh. It's really an amazing trade-off. It's not really a trade-off, just an amazing deal. You get everything. You have every tool for every situation, and on top of that, you have your 30mm bow that will protect you from pretty much all battleships except from Georgia and Yamato. So, and here I'm using my radar. There's no destroyers left, so there's no point keeping it. I just want to see what this Eugen here is up to, and it will allow me to prepare my guns for as soon as I come around this corner here, so I can get at his broadside. There's so many uses for this ship here, and this Edinburgh is so much more than just a ship that sits in smoke just like Belfast. It's so great. I cannot recommend this ship enough. So that was an Edinburgh and an Otago pretty much single-handedly winning this battle here without much of any battleship backup. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there.